Hi, friends. Host Eric here, host of Talking with Famous People, the internet television program that explains everything about everything to everyone all of the time. It's quite a claim, but it's true. This is an internet television program that explains everything to everyone, everywhere, all of the time. Anyhow, today I have a good example of fields and functions in action. And it's happened a couple of times now with me and Rachel, a few times actually, and it's happened both directions. What this example is hi Annie H. I want to talk about this example of Rachel and I both are listening to this book on Audible. It's called the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. We're on book 2 right now. Anyhow, periodically we'll be listening to this book, and as you're listening to a story, as you're sitting together in a room listening to a story, at various times you are looking in various directions. Sometimes I'll be like looking at something in my hands, or sometimes I'll be looking at Rachel or over in Rachel's direction. So Rachel will be over there sitting in that chair petting the cat, and I'll look at her, and she'll see that I have a sad expression on my face, and she'll say, "Oh, is this making you sad? Like, is the cat's giving me too much attention and not you enough attention?" And I say, "No. It's just what's going on in the story that's making me sad." And she'll go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I see." And then the same exact thing happened in reverse too, where she was looking at me, looking sad or upset about something, and I'm like, "Oh, or is what I'm doing upsetting you?" And she says, "No, it's the story." So the way this exemplifies, hi Jackie, the way this exemplifies fields and functions is as follows. Both parties sitting here are attending to the external metaphysical field. That is to say, the story that is filling the airspace and the words. But FE is paying attention to the external physical field because neither person is saying anything. So the only FE data on the external physical field that's there is eye contact, like where you're looking. So when it appears that we're looking at the other person and frowning, we're assuming the FE is going to assume, okay, this must be because the person's not saying anything, but they're looking at me and they're frowning. They must be upset about something that I'm doing. In reality, I'm just staring off into space. Now, you can think about this external physical field, the FE relationship with it is sometimes I might be like looking up, and then if I'm frowning, she won't assume it's about her, right? And anyway, so what's really going on here is a field thing, right? It's like we're paying attention to the external metaphysical field, but because neither person's saying anything, the only FE data is on the external physical field, and it's going to be misleading because that data is going to reveal something about the person's internal physical field, namely their emotional state. And we're going to ask, what's the link to the internal metaphysical field? Is it something, are you thinking that I'm doing something wrong and that's why you're feeling bad? Of course, in reality, the expression is linked to the external metaphysical field that we're both paying attention to mostly, except our FE sometimes kicks in and causes us to sort of jolt out of the story and pay attention to the other person for a second. So basically, it shows how fields and functions interact pretty nicely. How you have to account for the different fields because you can see how those fields exist differently and how they can give you conflicting pieces of data depending on what it is you're doing and so forth. So that's hi Bacon, hi Lyrophagical. I was just struck by that occasion. It happened a couple of times, and wanted to articulate it on a video. If we don't account for field differentiation, then there's no way to explain what's going on there in that scenario with cognitive functions. You just say, well, your FE is wrong or something. But the thing is, what's actually happening there is a process analysis. It's pretty clear. What's happening is you're getting a person whose internal metaphysical field is responsive to the external metaphysical field, but whose extroverted feeling is attending to the external physical field. The typing last night was fine, good, pleasant. It was an INTP I had typed before and wanted to, he had been typed by other people since, and basically wanted to discuss with me various arguments people made, because he'd been typed multiple times now as INFP as well. Clearly an INTP, is but it was interesting. So it's like, if you want to explain that phenomenon that happens between me and Rachel when we're listening to the book, and it's happened in both directions, where I've said to her, like, oh, is something I'm doing bothering you? And she goes, no, my facial expression is demonstrative of my feelings about what's going on in the story, not about what you're doing, even though I'm looking at you. Because, when you are listening to a story and it doesn't require any of your visual attention, because you're just listening to it, you're not reading it. Your eyes kind of go around the room, and sometimes I'm just sort of staring mindlessly at Rachel. But my emotional state, in other words, my internal physical field, and that links to my internal metaphysical field. So it's like, as I'm hearing this information and something's happening to a character that I don't like is happening, like, oh, I don't like this bad part where the good guy is not winning, right? I might have a concerned look on my face, but it's not about what I'm looking at with my eyes. It's about what I'm looking at with my ears, which is to say the story. So essentially you could say that, that to explain what's going on there with cognitive functions requires you to have distinction between the various fields. The fact is, the external metaphysical field is where the story is happening. The internal metaphysical field is what additional sort of meanings we're making about the story, or linking it to how we feel about things, stuff like that. But the actual feelings are in the internal physical field. In other words, that concern I feel for the character is not something that's intellectualized at all. It's an actual sort of gut native response. And you might say, well, it's not really physical, Eric. That's where we put FI as the internal physical field. Does it link strongly to the metaphysical? Sure, just like SI does as well. But SI is also in the internal physical field because that's where it's native to. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have links to the other fields. As we see FE linking to the external physical field and to the internal metaphysical field. So it's like, I see Rachel frowning, and I think, I know with my introverted intuition that means she's unhappy. And I know with my extroverted feeling that she's looking at me. So in other words, it's engaging both NI and SE. And then I'm prompted to TI the matter, ask a question, and find out if the reality is consistent with my knowing. If the evening ends in canoodling, your metaphysical being FE'd correctly. Well, sure. But the point is, you can have conflicting data from different attentional manners, as is the case in the, like, my map would say, well, there's nothing I'm doing right now that Rachel could be unhappy about. But my FE is saying, but she's looking at me and she's frowning, so it must be, I need to clarify this. There's a contradiction between what I know, which is I'm not doing anything to be frowned at, and what I am seen in the data stream that she's frowning at me. So I seek to clarify that with my TI by asking a question. Are you upset at something I'm doing? And she goes, oh, no, just the story. So, and then I know that, in fact, okay, there's a perfectly good reason why she's frowning at me that is not linked to my behavior. Doesn't that make a lot of good sense? It does. It makes a lot of good sense. I've got a typing today at 1 o'clock. You think Rachel is very noise sensitive? I mean, I don't. She likes to have a lot of. She likes to have background talking when she sleeps. Like she likes to have some YouTube videos playing or something in the background when she's sleeping. I've not found her. I mean, she's been sleeping. She's really well right now, in every sense of the word. She's sleeping really well. She's on top of shit. I don't know what she's doing right now. It's probably like laundry or something. I haven't really seen her except briefly this morning. In contrast, I don't like to have any talking going on or anything like that in the background when I sleep. I find it interferes with my sleeping, But I like last night, I slept from about 12:30 a.m. till about a little before 10 this morning. But as far as how well I actually slept, well, some sections of that time were good sleep and some sections not so good sleep. Right. There aren't a lot of loud noises around here, really. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood. And it's a pretty quiet house. I mean, it's just my dad and me and Rachel. It's not like a chaotic environment at all. You just got to run on her back, huh? Or do you mean rub? That's got to be convenient. How's my mom? Well, we did see her, I don't know, a week or two ago. About a week ago, I guess. We saw her briefly through the window. It was hard to tell how she was because they had to get her up. Like she was asleep when we arrived, even though it was scheduled. And so she was kind of out of it. And they've got her on various drugs like trazodone and stuff. Yeah. I mean, she's nonverbal at this point, as far as I could tell. Maybe says yeah occasionally. But it's oddly easy to forget about her. With all the COVID stuff, and which is still ongoing. It's like, as far as I know, we're still not allowed to go inside of the nursing home. It's been months now, but it's a weird situation. It's a really odd situation. It's hard to know what to do with it because, in some sense, my mother's already long gone, right? And I have to do my morning. I've already had to do some sort of morning, although I don't know if I really have done it. And then, on the other hand, she's still here, and so it's a weird situation. There's a slow boil aspect to it as well, because this whole thing happens over time. Gradually, you get accustomed to it, and it's vastly different than if it were to happen all of a sudden. Incredibly different, How old my mom? 83, 84. Quite a depressing time. I'm considering cutting off media for my emotional state but I don't because I want to be informed. I find it depressing as well. But I've been avoiding the news generally. I look at it occasionally. Is nostalgia connected to SI, FI? Can FI type without SI be nostalgic? Let's see. FI type without SI. That's going to be your. Who is that? FI and I are like SFPs and NTJs. No, I don't think they're very nostalgic. I think SI is the activator there for nostalgia, not FI. It's a good question. I'm feeling kind of slow lately, kind of underwhelmed by life a little bit because it's it's fairly shortly after a cycle of a bottle of amphetamines came to an end. And those first few days after that, I'm always kind of like, yeah. How do you know you're nostalgic? If you have to ask, you're probably not very nostalgic. But you might have objects that you link to memories that are important for you to keep, or you might, look at a lot of pictures. Thing is, I actually don't think SI Tool is especially nostalgic, even though they're always talking about the past. Like, I wouldn't call my dad nostalgic per se, even though he's always telling old stories, Because it's instrumental, it's not absolute value. I think probably the most nostalgic types are ISFJs. I think FESI helps with a little bit of nostalgia too. It's going fine, Isaiah. Did you get any sleep last night? Are you up again or still up? I'm so jealous of Isaiah Rude. He has amphetamines and I don't. Yeah. Oh well. Living in the past. I say ISFJs, INFPs, INTPs, maybe ESFJs, although it's still instrumental for them. Oh, that's pretty damn good, Isaiah. Pretty damn good. Hi, sweet potato.
Hi. Oh, hi.
We had a long morning without one another. I was really starting to miss you.
Oh, I love you. I was missing you too.
I love you too, darling.
I took a long shower.
That's fine.
It was nice.
Would an ENFP male 7 wing 8 early 40s Pisces Sun Cancer Moon make a good dad? I don't know about all that Pisces Sun Cancer Moon stuff, but it depends on if they have a healthy attachment style or not. If they have a healthy attachment style, then yes, they'll probably make a good parent. If they don't, then no, they probably won't.
They might show, if they might show you what you shouldn't do. You know, they're going to be risk takers, and they're not going to be. They're not really known for being consistent.
I mean, look. Here's the thing: to be a good parent really means to love your child unconditionally and to prioritize that more or less. But yeah, that transubstantiated speed doesn't work for me.
Who says Isaiah?
What's an attachment style? Basically, if you had one parent who loved you properly when you were growing up, then you have a healthy attachment style. But Octavio Silva.
Do you think that the way that you grow up affects your attachment style? But do you think that also, like, as you go on in the dating world, that affects your attachment style too?
Well, sure. I mean, look, the thing is, by the time people emerge from the dating process nowadays, it seems like, although this is probably extra true for women than it is for men, they don't have much trust left.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here.
They don't have much trust left.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's true.
I don't think that necessarily means you got a unhealthy attachment style. I think people who were loved right as a kid by at least one parent, and
so basically, as long as you were shown love, because I don't even think it has to be a parent. I think it's like
it could be an adult, guardian type person who really loves you well. The thing is, if you're betrayed a lot as a kid by people who you trust, in other words, you don't have somebody you can trust to really have your back and have your interests and be fair and decent and stuff, then you never learn what it's like to be in a healthy, loving relationship. And because of the prime directive, which insists that no matter what, my map and territory have to match, the person with an unhealthy attachment style will typically destroy relationships because they need to prove to themselves over and over again that, in fact, they can trust nobody. Email Anthrax wants to be a dad, huh?
That's an ENTP thing. Jen wanted to be a mother, like, that was like being homosexual and wanting a child, but still wanting a child was very much ingrained in her. I think Alpha Quadra just wants the marriage and the babies and family and tradition more than maybe some of the other quadras.
He's so very daddy.
My dad.
So it's like Rachel was not particularly trusting when she came into this relationship, and frankly, neither was I. But I understood what trust theater looked like better than she did.
Yeah, because I never did it. I mean, I've done it before, but no one ever.
My approach is trust theater until it becomes real or becomes unbearably fake.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, assume it's working, and if we both play along, probably it will.
Yeah.
I think he's an INTP.
I think they have to be some. I think they have to have some like connecting factors.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
the thing is, if there's not legitimate compatibility, then it will eventually prove itself not adequate. It's like, you can't ignore NI forever. It's not sufficient for you to be on the same page about what you want in terms of the relationship. You have to actually like each other and stuff.
Yeah. I'm I'm pretty, when it comes to kids, I'm pretty ambivalent about the whole thing. I've always been ambivalent about getting married and about having kids, although, there is something to, like, I want to have, like, a bond with you in some way that, like, shows that, like, our commitment.
We have a cat. You got a very special cat. I wanted to have a kid, and I did. And I was glad I did. And I wasn't sure how many I wanted or if I wanted more than one, but I knew I wanted one. I only ended up having one, and that's fine.
If you were with someone else, do you think you would be considering the? And I'm not trying to trap you. I'm actually really asking: who didn't have mental illness, do you think that you would want to have other kids?
I think I'd follow her lead on it.
So that could be tricky.
If it were an SFJ,
then yeah,
who were super down, like that, they were 35 and like, my clock is ticking and I'm in this relationship, so you put a baby in me, then I'd probably be fine with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think
because I
that
wouldn't role is filled.
Right. I would know that this was going to be an easy child for me to raise because you got crazy, like the mom and Bob's Burgers mom. Well,
yeah.
Then
yeah.
fine,
Yeah. Attentive, being attentive all the time.
Right. Like I like the.
It's not that mental illness.
Yeah, it's not the mental illness. It's the drugs that you're on or that she's on. I mean, not you, but.
I mean, it's also my mental illness. Like.
Not to me, it's not. It's entirely the drugs in the sense that you can't stop taking the drugs.
No.
And you can't be pregnant on those drugs. No. And so that makes it impossible.
Besides, I mean, I don't really want to pass along.
I mean, there's that, but that's not that wouldn't be my concern.
I just don't really care about having kids. Like, it's not.
I don't want anymore. I don't actively want anymore. I would be open to it in theory, but I'm glad I don't have to be open to it. It's easier this way. I think you and I are going to have a good life together.
Yeah.
With limited responsibilities. I think we're both better off with limited responsibilities. We'd be fine as parents. I already know I'm a good parent. I can already tell you'd be a great parent.
Yeah, I would be. I've been a baby. I love kids. Despite my ambivalence of having my own, I love kids and I'm great with kids. I mean, I ran a child's summer camp last year. Like, I love kids. That doesn't mean that I want to have my own. But I'm responsibility phobic sometimes. So
it's like I'm into my golden years now. I'm one of the golden girls. Okay. Now, I know it's a little early to be into my golden years, but I already feel like I'm settling into my golden years here. I'm not interested in going back to career time or whatever. I'm happy that the Titan business is picking up. That's always is nice, Regardless, Rachel and I are looking to. Your body will decide for you if you want them. Oh.
My body will decide. Well, I have PC. I don't really think my body wants me to. Honestly, I have PCOS. I don't know. You know what? I think it's great. It sounds like motherhood has been like great for you.
Oh, she hasn't had a kid yet. She wants one.
Who?
Annie H.
Oh, then you should go for it. You should absolutely 100% go for it. I'm talking about my own.
Who's Bane, my dude? You're not a never be ENTP Bane, my dude. Who's Bane, my dude?
Biologically, I don't mind adopting. There's a lot of different. I don't have much to say about this topic. I do know people who have family members who donated eggs and stuff, and it gets very complicated. I'm responsibility phobe. My dad always says he always tells me that I have good stuff because I don't have any responsibilities. He's always reminding me, like, you're not married, you don't have kids. Why don't you do what you want to do? Like, why don't follow the path that other people will follow?
Oh, so you're saying me? I'm not an ENTP? That's what you're saying, Raphael?
Can I have a riff?
Of course. Oh, what do you think I am then?
Oh, adoption won't affect your boobs. There you go. What the bit does.
That's a good point there, Email Anthrax. I liked the joke that was made in Bob's Burgers earlier that I was watching, which was when what's his name? The boy, Gene. Gene was relating to his sister's difficulty by saying, "I've been there."
Yep.
He said, "I've been there. The 4 years it took me to go from boob to bottle were the toughest 4 years of my life."
He's very proud of his body. He's got to be an ESFP.
Yeah.
Because he's so blind to, like, the fact that, like, no, Gene, you're unhealthy.
Oh, I'm never gonna do my golden years. Well, what I mean by golden years is I'm out of my my try hard period. I'm done with the try hardy work a lot time. I'm done with that. That's boring and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, you're Dorothy.
I'm Dorothy, right? I'm Dorothy from the Golden Girls. Okay, I make Rose. I make those kind of jokes all the time. Yes, Rose. He took a cruise ship down to Panama to get margaritas. Dorothy, also known as B. Arthur. I will be a granddad when we have a kid, and so will Rachel will be a grandma too. So you got that to look forward to. Delilah eventually will probably pop a kid out, and then we'll be grandparents.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
That'd be fun. I don't think being a grandparent would be a lot more fun than being a parent.
I think being an aunt is even more fun. Like I always. Is like fun too, like I like to hear update. I don't know. I just feel like I'm Pee-Pee's mom.
Of course you are. The cat has. I think it's fair to say, miracle of all miracles. My cat actually likes Rachel better than she likes me. Although it may be also possible that she likes that green chair more than she likes this place. And Rachel's usually sitting over there.
Yeah.
And that may be part of the situation.
I think it's cool. No, it's.
I love the fact that Pee-Pee loves Rachel. And I find it so slabby because, of course, my last girlfriend was the animal whisperer, okay? Every animal adored her.
True.
Except Pee-Pee, who didn't like her at all. And
Pee-Pee came with you.
And Pee-Pee came with me. She's the only animal that came with me. And she took right to Rachel.
Oh, good coffee. Can you grab me that cup, that mug?
Yeah. No, we doesn't make you dumb. Why would you say that? All right, see you in an hour, Isaiah. What's BUHU? Is that a internet code for something? Like beneath uvula? I don't know. You usually test avoidant? All right, let me take this goddamn test. I want to see what my attachment style is.
Can I do it after you?
Sure. You want to do it first?
Sure.
Let me go back up to where the link is. Here it is. I hide my true emotions. Disagree. I'm doing me first. Sorry.
Yeah, you should do yourself first.
Okay.
I'm not just agreeing to agree.
I take care not to give others information about me which they could later use to hurt me. No. Generally pretty open for people and don't keep secrets from my partner or friends. Agree. I prefer to keep others, including my partner, at a distance. No. Silly. I often feel that my feelings for my partner are stronger than theirs for me. No. That's also silly. Sometimes when I'm single, I just want to skip ahead to being in a well-established relationship again. I don't enjoy the many instances. Agree. Yeah. Love isn't really that important to me. Disagree. I come across as cold and good at hiding my true feelings. No, I don't think so. I almost never worry about my partner breaking up with me. Disagree a little bit. Well, not anymore. I don't worry about it anymore. I used to worry about it. If I try to kiss someone and they turn their head, that's fine. Nobody's liked by everyone. Why? Disagree. Well, yeah. I mean, it's fine, but agree, I guess. I often feel that my partner is merely using me as a stopover until someone better comes along. No, I don't feel like that. I sometimes feel like my partner doesn't afford me my fair deal unless I put an act on to make them notice me. No, I don't feel like that. I feel that if people get to know me, they wouldn't like the real me. No, I don't feel like that. I make everyday decisions easily without needing advice or reassurance. Yeah. My desire for closeness sometimes scares people away. I don't think so. I'm open with others and easy to get to know. Yes. I trust my partner and do not remain on my guard around him or her. Yeah, I trust my partner. My partner truly understands me and my needs. Yes. I find it easy to ask others for help or support. Disagree. I've rarely been afraid of being alone or that no one invites me. I agree with that. Pressuring me for commitment is just about one of the worst things a prospective partner can do. No. Trusting others is easy, and I generally find that I get a good outcome when doing so. Yes. I often feel that others invade my space or depend on me without my ever saying that I'd be okay with that. No. I sometimes enhance my allure of being intentionally mysterious around others. No. When I'm feeling stressed out, thinking about my partner tends to help me relax. Yeah. No. I don't know if I really do that much, but I sometimes feel disdain for people who are not independent or self-made. No. I guard my privacy pretty fiercely. No. I can be pretty impulsive when I'm expressing my emotions. And even indulge in woe is me scenes when I'm disappointed in love by love. Maybe a little woe is me. Yeah, I agree with that, I guess. I prefer to keep my deeper feelings hidden. No. If I value my relation with someone, I just say it aloud without thinking much about whether it's awkward or how it will sound to others. Sort of. Sometimes I worry my partner is intentionally ignoring my phone calls and not responding to them as quickly. No, I don't think that. Although if you were, then it would bother me, but you're not doing that. So it doesn't matter. Most of my problems partners have had significant social, financial, or psychological problems which I've had to help them deal with. Okay, well, not all of them. I sometimes try to sever my partner's connections to others. No. I often find myself engaged in fixing other people's problems for them. No, not often. I prefer not to get too close to others. Yeah. As my relationships mature, I tend to find more and more fault with my partner until I barely respect them at all. No, that's not a maturing relationship. 55.6% relaxed, 88.9% engaging. I'm like George W. Bush. Relaxed, engaging, secure. Relaxed, engaging individuals tend to have good self-esteem and typically find it easy to share their feelings and opinions with others. They spend less time fretting or second-guessing themselves than individuals in the other three quadrants, and they generally find it easy to ask others for help or support when in need. They're usually straightforward and trusting in their relations with others, and their usual state is one of being open, approachable, and relaxed. For this reason, they typically have fewer interpersonal defenses than others. They naturally seek to connect with others while remaining realistic about the transformative power of intimate relationships. Relaxed and engaging individuals don't expect to be swept off their feet or to have their entire world turned upside down by the arrival of some romantic figure or would like. They're already comfortable in their own skin, so to speak. Instead, they seek to cultivate simple virtues, mutual trust, and a sense of shared intimacy with others. They generally don't play games, but seek to establish uncomplicated and mutually beneficial relationships. Exactly. Yes, that is correct. Your attachment's on 8.3% on edge and 55.6% avoidant. Ah.
You look better. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, Raphael, though. The attachment style test is, in fact, a test of your self perception. And it may be false self perception, but it's positive false self perception. That's what matters, see? It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It matters if it's positive or not. If it's trusting and positive. So it is a meaningful test because it's testing your own self-perception. No, did you hear what I'm saying? You misunderstand what the test is testing. Attachment style relates to the extent to which you are sort of blindly and purposelessly positive in your self-perception and assume the best of others. So it's natural that the test is going to be adequate in doing what it's attempting to do if what it's attempting to do is just measure your self-perception. The problem with self-reporting tests with cognitive functions is they're attempting to measure something other than your self-perception, so it doesn't work in that context. Totally different context too. Oh, Raphael, you're so combative. I appreciate your combativeness. It's a fun adventure in learning. We both love to have fun adventures in learning. And when we're driving that steamboat up the river, learning about oceanic creatures living in this freshwater river, that's when we're learning the most. I think everybody knows exactly what I'm saying. If you want to meet Danny Glover, you got to meet Mel Gibson. As the Spice Girls once said, if you want to meet Danny Glover, you got to meet Mel Gibson. Those two are like brothers. Friendship between men.
Aww. I'm pretending that you said Rachel till the end.
No, it's my Danny Glover Mel Gibson song. I said friendship between men.
Oh, that's right.
If you want to meet Danny Glover, you got to meet Mel Gibson, because those two are like brothers. Friendship between men.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's the original lyrics to the Spice Girls song.
And then also Rachel till the end.
Rachel till the end. There you go, darling.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah, I wish they hadn't changed the lyrics to Spice Girls. That's how they originally wrote the song. You know, it was originally about buddy cop movies, but they changed it. I tell you who's the worst singer in the Spice Girls is Ginger. She's terrible. She should never have made it into the Spice Girls. It must have been her idea. That's why she's included or something. She's not a very good Spice Girl. I want to start a campaign that we retroactively exclude Ginger from the Spice Girls. What do you say? Who's in? Who's in on my change.org petition? Let's retroactively exclude Ginger from the Spice Girls. And you just have Baby, Sporty, Smushy, and Sneezy. Baby, Sporty, Smushy, and Sneezy are the only ones left if you get rid of Ginger. What are the other ones? What are the other ones besides Ginger, Baby, and Sporty?
Oh, I got this. I got this. There's Ginger Spice, Baby Spice. There's Sporty Spice, Posh Spice.
Posh.
And
is there another Spice?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's the wild one.
Wild Spice?
I want it to be that.
Crazy Spice?
It might be crazy. I don't know. Baby.
Scary Spice.
Scary Spice.
Okay, so let's retroactively get rid of Ginger. Then we're just left with Baby, Sporty, Scary, and Posh. What do you say?
What do you mean?
I want to retroactively get rid of Ginger from the Spice Girls because she's not a good singer.
And then I'll give Mel C, Sporty Spice, more lines and songs because actually she was a good singer.
Yeah, and Ginger's
but
not
Sporty wasn't really, because Sporty was pretty generic. She got like backseated a lot.
But she was a sporty one.
I'm telling you, babe, she gets forget all about all the time. People remember Scary more than they do Sporty.
How does Sporty take a backseat now?
Right?
Well, and Ginger isn't even a thing, right? Baby's a thing.
No, but Ginger is spice in Ginger because she's redheaded.
I know, but listen, Posh adjective, right?
Yeah,
basically.
True.
Sporty adjective, Scary adjective, Baby, well, an adjective-ish noun. Okay. Ginger, no.
Redheaded though.
But it's a totally different kind of adjective. The other ones are not physical descriptions. You see. The other ones aren't physical descriptions. Sporty Spice may be slightly physical because it kind of describes her clothes, but only Ginger Spice. It's not
Baby because it describes her baby face.
Okay, but why wouldn't they just call her Blonde Spice then? If they're going to go by hair color names.
They weren't.
Right, so Ginger doesn't fit in with the other ones. She just doesn't fit.
I'm okay with you. I'm okay.
Also, the other thing
is, Sporty Spice fan, so
the Ginger name didn't even relate to her red hair.
Yes.
They were just naming her after the Japanese thing they put on sushi.
You know what's funny? She's actually blonde.
Is she?
Yeah.
Ginger?
Yeah, Ginger Spice.
Lies. The lies they try to sell us.
That's the media. Yeah.
Yeah.
One time, I walked in here and it smelled like farts.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. I couldn't believe it.
I've been farting all night.
Hey, whatever.
They're filling up the room.
Yeah, it was cool. Whatever. It was nature.
Yeah.
Open up some doors. Light some candles. I love you all the time.
I love you all the time. You're my all the time spice.
Thanks, baby.
Hmm. So anyway, once we get rid of ginger spice from the past, what other retroactive changes should we do? Let's go back in time and stop the Who from being successful because they're terrible. Nobody should like the Who. They're terrible.
I only like their miming because you can mime them pretty well.
You can mime them.
Yeah, because like Pete Townsend has
Oh,
that
his-
the, like.
Yeah, it's so.
And then like Keith Moon's just like.
Well, you know what's hilarious is that Pete Townsend stabbed his hand on his whammy bar doing that garbage.
Fuck.
Yeah, he injured himself doing that. That whole vroom vroom thing. He hit his hand on the whammy bar sticking up and it like stabbed his hand. Yeah, he injured himself doing that.
Oh, that's karma.
It's such a yeah.
That is a one. You're risking too many things too many times, and you're like getting a lesson.
Annie H, you gotta find a man who wants to have a baby. You can't get him to want to have a baby. That if you're gonna try to sell him on the notion of wanting to have a baby, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Said well. And then the other guy who the lead singer, he always spins the mic. He's always like
they're so self-important.
If you can mime them, I guess that's a good sign that it's not that great of a. Although Black Sabbath, you could mime. What's his name really?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, but he could get mocked. He gets mocked really well. Like, and he's on that show, Sharon.
Yeah, right. I know you want a dude to want one with you. So you got to find one who already wants one. You can't get one to want one.
Yeah.
What do you mean I said something different a second ago? What are you talking about?
I had an ENFP as dad, and he was really fun. And he was really good to talk to you about, like, movies and, like, social interests.
He loves Rachel a lot.
Yeah, he was, like, a friend growing up. I love my dad. We're very close. He taught me a lot about music, movies, television.
Crying.
Crying.
You know how ENFPs are. ENFPs are the same way. I cry all the time. I'm like the waterworks, you know.
He does. He gets the face. And I'm like, Dad, no! Only because I can't handle it, because then I'm going to start being like, am I a parent here, or am I supposed to cry too?
INFJ males don't cry. I believe that. By and large, they probably don't. I had two. I was lucky. You would choose a who man?
I like that. I like that, Raphael.
I would choose a who man that's dangerous but trustworthy.
Oh, Kitty Wonder, ISFP. She's always letting me know when she wants to be loved. And did you see Gray Kitty out there, huh? I always forget to name him Trouble because I don't like him that much.
Yeah, you know what happened this morning? I was sleeping here. I left the door cracked open a bit because I wanted some cool air to come in, and I heard munch on the food, and I looked, and Pee-Pee was lying right next to me, asleep. So I was like, God damn it, it's trouble. And I hit the door like this.
Good.
And he ran away.
Good. It's when we're away that he's the most dangerous.
Curious Kyra got anxious. How's Kitty's paw? She's still limping pretty good.
Yeah, but she seems to be better. I mean, she's definitely leaping on stuff, whether she should be or not.
Right. I mean, she doesn't seem like she's
Right?
she's suffering very
You're
much.
feeling a little better, I think. Yeah. Look at you. Scratching and all.
Oh, kiddiness, friend. Hello.
Hello. You know, I was thinking I'd like to get together for a cup of coffee with Kyra since she's like closer to us, maybe sometime.
Yeah, sure. True.
Cheeky.
Oh, kiddiness. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream because I want to have a little break here before I start the typing at 1 o'clock. I want to maybe listen to some of the book. And she doesn't think she's a useless human being. Raphael. You are.
Yeah, you too, Zaylin.
Raphael, you are full of bold claims.
Good luck, Annie. It was good to see you.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with your impregnation. See you later, everybody.
Don't eat. Don't eat. Plenty of cheese.